What can I say about Rogue, except it's old as fuck, and no one gives a flying fuck. I'm not talking about this shit. See you later, bro. So yeah, well, this game is pretty old, basically releasing in 1980, you may as well be dead. I'm still going to talk about it, because it's basically the starting point, the big granddad of my favorite genres, roguelike and roguelite. So while I could overlook this game and just continue on with modern games or semi-modern games, I decided to just take a look back at the classics and see exactly what drew people in. Why did this become a genre? The thing about Roguelikes right here is that you have to consider that most of its concepts and its whole theme is very simplistic. It's not really an insult towards the game to be simple, it just, it had a direction it wanted to go and it took it, and it's just the typical direction you would go with a story and gameplay. While on the surface, the whole story or the whole reason why you play this game is that you're just an adventurer going into a dungeon to retrieve an amulet and bring it back to the surface. But deep down, underneath the surface level and at its core, what Rogue is that it's a randomly generated level with all kinds of randomly generated things inside of it. The generation doesn't just affect the layout of the level itself either. It also affects the items you'll be able to get as well as the enemies you'll fight. And it's not just on the first level or the third level is when it randomly generates on each and every level. Another thing to include with Rogue is that when you die, it's permanent. You don't get to continue from a checkpoint, or if you have an extra life, you don't get to continue with that one. When you die, it's over. Once your hit points reach 0, it's over, baby. It's over. And I truly think those are the two core concepts that really make Rogue what it is. And, what makes roguelikes roguelike. Now that we're done with the actual serious part of the video that I wanted to talk about, which was the core concept of this game genre and where it came from and all that, now we can actually talk about and make fun of this little stanky danky game that we have right here. This game is confusing as hell, I won't even lie. I have grown to enjoy it and its complicated controls, but it is so hard to, get into. Because it expects you to just be like, dude, I want to sit down and I want to understand exactly how these controls work. It's not like a pick up and play type of game at first. You have to learn the weird ass controls, like putting on a ring or taking off a ring with 2 different key binds. It's like, dude, why wasn't this all just put to one thing or a menu or something like that? But no, they're like, dude, we gotta make it all on a little keyboard. Each and every key has to have a purpose. It just doesn't make really any sense. Here's a freaking screenshot of some of the controls. This is just how to move. They really said, yo, we don't want just one way to control the movement. We want 3 ways, bro. And listen, I get it, okay? You make do with what you got, and all you really got is a keyboard and an old system format on how to run commands. Okay, wait, I think I can use actual commands here. Watch this. You ready for some dumb shit? Where's up left? Up left is Y. But still, I feel like the controls could have been implemented a lot better, but just simply weren't. That's basically my only complaint with the game, is that the controls are wacky as fuck, and it's just hard for people to understand or get into it. So of course, people won't really get to experience what this was like, unless they want to actually experience the pain of controls and what it was like. Besides that, I really enjoy the game. It's, dated, of course. It's not stunning RTX graphics. You're not gonna get that with this, but, the world itself is very nice. The manual includes like a story prelude to exactly why you're here. Let me read the simple excerpt. You are the rogue. Your quest is to fight your way through the dungeons of doom and return with the fabled amulet of Yindor, or die trying. For protection, you have been given armor, an enchanted mace, a bow, and a quiver filled with arrows. At the beginning of your journey, you have food to last you 1 meal. In the dungeons, you will find more food and weapons left behind by previous unlucky seekers. As you descend, search out these hidden treasures, gold pieces, and magical potions that help you in your ultimate search, the quest for the amulet. But be prepared for many monsters that will make your journey challenging. As you proceed through each journey, you will be ranked on your quest. Return triumphant and enter the highest ranks of the Guildmaster's Hall of Fame. If that doesn't make your little bones shiver, then I don't know what will. But maybe the rest of the story would, since that was only a prologue, a introduction to this. I'll be linking the Steam manual so that way people can see it, or at least hopefully people can see it. If you want to read the whole story, it's about like 2 pages, pretty spaced out. You can check it out. It's pretty good. I like it. The loot you encounter is also pretty nice, I gotta say. It's very chink, you know, it's very good.
Yeah, boy.
You got like magical potions that you can use, and they all have different kind of effects like teleportation or making you feel strong. You also have some other stuff like weapons, which can vary from mace, swords, daggers, bows, throwing knives, all that kind of stuff. You can actually throw weapons in this, and it actually travels on screen. It's pretty funny. A dart at an ice monster. I'm too busy throwing darts at the letter I. Just keep throwing darts at it. It's dead. It's dead. It's like, oh yeah, bro. Wait, we gotta use L. Because the other one, we don't know what that one does.
Nice.
Oh shit, I f***ing killed the orc in one go. Man, that was a cool little clip of me killing an orc with a bow and arrow, right? That was pretty unique. Except I didn't really, shoot him with an arrow. I threw an arrow. As you may have seen in the previous clip, it says I threw an arrow. And again, this is where the controls, which can be a little confusing, get into the mix. It's like you have to equip the bow, and then you would think, oh, I equip the arrows and then I can use this ranged weapon, right? No, you have to equip the bow and then you have to use the throw command with the arrow. And I know it may sound obvious now, but it's very confusing when you start to try and learn the game. It's like, I wouldn't throw an arrow, because it obviously wouldn't do anything, but they also have darts in this game, and you have to throw the darts. You can't shoot a dart, right? So, I can understand that they had to have the same button for shooting as they would for throwing, but I guess some kind of wordplay, like changing it up to something that would be mutual, would be better. Because, I didn't even understand how to use the bow for quite a long time in the game because of this whole incident. Besides the whole weapons and items and loot and all that, you got some pretty cool little monsters in there, baby. You have so many monsters. You have 1 to 26 monsters because it's the whole alphabet, and they decided to represent each monster with the first letter of that monster name, aka B for bat, H for hobgoblin, I for ice monster, O for ogre. You get what I'm saying. I'm gonna try and shoot it, okay? This may be the end of the journey for Adful, but it's worth it. It's a leprechaun! In the end, this game is pretty good, but again, I wouldn't really put it up there as one of the greatest. It's definitely one of those games where it was a good starting point, but you know, it has some obvious things that needs to be checked and, you know, worked out with. And I think a whole lot of new roguelikes really improved upon this concept and this idea, and I really enjoy those, and I'd love to talk more about those and review them later on. The score I give this is gonna have to be 6 out of 10 smiley face looking characters. While this game had great ideas, and it really does show how innovative the creators were in making this, it does lack quite a bit of modern, you know, pizzazz to it, I suppose. The modern touch, a good way to transition players into it. It's very rough on the surface, and it'll keep getting rougher as you learn until you finally get it all smoothed out with your big brain. Thanks for watching my first game review. Please make sure to leave a like, a favorite, and a subscription. But most importantly, leave a comment and let me know if you like this, because I'd love to do more of these. Thanks for tuning in. I love you all. Toodaloo and bye-bye.